Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. I'm not gay. So what is at stake here? Whites, Jews, and LGBT people look like colonists, right? They look like colonists. Okay, I'm not saying that to insult them, but to help you understand. The most righteous person that ever lived is from the race you would expect them to be from, black people. So do whites, Jews, and LGBT people have anything to lose for people to acknowledge that? When they acknowledge Martin Luther King, did black people take over? When they acknowledge Michael Jordan, did black people take over? You know how stupid you'd have to be to think that the people who are representing the white, Jew, and LGBT community when it comes to their major decisions as groups are magically qualified to do so. They are retarded. There is an abundance of evidence that shows us they're retarded. They are very dumb. They have some kind of developmental disorders, what have you. And the people from their groups who are smarter than they are, they need to convince them because they need to see their own groups saying it. Because they're not smart enough to take the advice and God's commands from the most righteous person ever lived. Everyone in America with any sense at all knows that these satanic feminists, these satanic Republicans, okay, these kind of propaganda feminists, propaganda Republicans, propaganda LGBT people, they are all very wrong. And their lifestyle is extremely inferior. And even kids who see cartoons know that. For example, Cruella de Vil represents a satanic feminist. All the elements are there. Corporate grooming, greed, ruthlessness, selfishness, right? It's even the word feminist, right? And then lying about things to try to get their way. Do you think the ideal wife and mother and sister and daughter is a selfish Luciferian bitch? No. No way. How many of you would rather have Cruella de Vil as a wife or as a mother than Belle? Little kids know this right away. Right away. How many of you think that Belle is better off being, like what she's not better off being, a lesbian Cruella de Vil as she gets older? Little kids can tell you this. And little kids can also tell you there's a bunch of Prince Humperdinck, Lex Luthor types, white supremacists, English, American, okay, who want to use that to say, well, now do what we say so you don't become like them. Let me make it very simple for you. The scripture on the screen. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom. I'm the most righteous person that ever lived. Therefore, I'm the most wise person that ever lived. It's that essential ingredient that's the determinant. The Lord weighs the heart. Having a wise heart. I'm not going to budge. These lunatics in the governing class, the managerial class, the poor, they're the ones that need to budge because it is impossible for the most righteous person to ever live, and ever will live, mind you, to do what is wrong. That's not going to happen. But we've seen people who are evil start to change their lives all the time. It is insane to expect me to change. You must expect them to change. And just in, for those of you who need to hear it this way, just in, right? Who would have thought that 189,000 people die every day and they all go to hell these days? And many, many thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of them have lived lives that are clearly rotten. Cruella de Vil lives, Lex Luthor life. They were rotten scum whose brains were cultivating sheer stupidity and evil is stupidity, to the point where they couldn't really enjoy their life. So they lived like some selfish worms, some toxic, disgusting, poisonous slime. And then they went to hell and left their legacy, their mark, as a despicable legacy, as a despicable mark. And their families are that much worse when all is said and done. So you people are the ones who need to reason with them. Okay? I'm going to keep reasoning with them, but you're the ones who are the determinant here. Because they're not smart enough to listen to me. They're some kind of sniveling worms.